XDC 2.0 upgrade also makes the subnet platform more friendly towards payment use cases. This is because of the block finality, which is 6 seconds. So we can also compare this number to traditional bank systems where transfer delay could take like days or even more than a week if we are talking about global transfers.
Welcome back to another episode of XDC MENA podcast, where we talk about blockchain, innovation, projects, technology, and of course, the XDC network. Today, I'm excited to have Wanwiset Pira Patanapokin, a core blockchain engineer at XDC network. Wanwiset has been deeply involved in the development and engineering behind XDC 2.0, particularly the subnets. So with his expertise, we'll dive into the technical advancements and benefits of subnet, exploring how they enhance scalability, privacy, and interoperability within the XDC ecosystem. So Wanwiset, welcome to the podcast. So diving into the first question, please tell us what you do and if you can give us a brief what XDC 2.0 is.
Thank you for having me, Rebecca. My name is Wanwiset and I am a master's degree graduate from USC in electrical engineering. Currently, I am a member of XDC protocol team, and as a developer at XDC, we are not only doing coding tasks as a routine job. Our work involves a lot of communication with enterprise customers and doing iterative feedback. We work closely with our partners to always understand their problem and their vision. By doing so, we make sure we really understand the customer needs, which allows XDC to work toward a common goal with our partners. So to the XDC 2.0, XDC 2.0 is a security-focused upgrade on the consensus layer. The number of validators required to advance the next block is increased to 2/3 of active masternodes. So let's say there are a total of 100 masternodes. The bad actor need to take control of like almost 70 nodes. And this means malicious actor to take control of XDC, he has to hack over 2/3 of the decentralized nodes that's deployed all over the globe. Or over 1/3 to stop the XDC blockchain from generating blocks. So we also have the forensic security feature that detects malicious activity from validators, and it also will be able to penalize the malicious wallet. Another important feature of XDC 2.0 is on the block finality. So finality just means how long it takes for a block to be confirmed and forever recorded onto the blockchain. In XDC 2.0, the block finality is 3 blocks. And the XDC block time is 2 seconds, which means the finality will be 6 seconds. So in comparison to Ethereum, the block time is 12 seconds and the finality is more than a minute. So you can see the fast block time of XDC really helps with the fast finality, and it's actually very important to a use case of subnet, and we'll come back to that.
All right. Thank you so much, Wanwiset, for sharing your introduction. And it's nice to know that the developers at the XDC network, it's not all about coding, but you also communicate to the projects or the enterprise customers that we have. So going to the XDC 2.0, so it's all about improving the transaction speed and also with security. I think it's worth mentioning that with the XDC 2.0 update, we make the network Byzantine fault tolerant, wherein even if 1/3 of the nodes or the validators are facing disconnection and whatnot, it means that the network is still secure. Right, that's a very great upgrade. So yes, touching on the subnets, Wanwiset, can you tell us what subnets are?
So XDC subnet is XDC's layer 2 and private chain solution. Before explaining further, I would like to share why we decided to build the subnet product. So XDC is always talking to the enterprise businesses, and we always know that they're interested in the security provided by the blockchain technology, especially on like the financial sector, like payment solutions. However, on the XDC mainnet blockchain being public, this becomes an obstacle for payments. So the protocol team came up with the XDC subnet, such that it borrows security from the XDC mainnet while keeping your enterprise data and your customers' data private. Yes, but even so, you have a choice whether you want your subnet chain to be public or not. So how does the subnet work? The subnet itself is its own blockchain, completely separated from the mainnet. It has its own set of validators, native token, and ability to execute EVM smart contracts. Now, the subnet borrows the security of the mainnet by constantly checkpointing to the mainnet. So if the subnet data was tampered, the checkpointed data in the mainnet wouldn't match the current subnet data. Essentially, what happens is that your data in the private subnet is hashed into a proof data, and only the proof data is checkpointed to the XDC mainnet, so you can keep your privacy inside the subnet. To go a bit further into the technicality of the checkpointing, it is done by another subnet component that we call the relayer, and it checkpoints to a special smart contract in the mainnet. The XDC 2.0 upgrade also makes the subnet platform more friendly towards payment use cases. This is because of the block finality, which is 6 seconds. So we can also compare this number to traditional bank systems where transfer delay could take like days or even more than a week if we are talking about global transfers. And even compared to other blockchains, our performance is much faster. Ethereum, as mentioned, takes more than a minute. And let's say you look to use like a centralized exchange like Binance, it can take up to 5 or 10 minutes.
So thank you, OneWizard, for sharing what is subnets. So for a technical guy, I do appreciate you for explaining subnet in a very non-technical way. So from your explanation, from what I understand, subnet is a scaling privacy solution, wherein if I am a company or if I am an enterprise and do not want to share my data or my transaction details into the public main chain, I can use subnets, correct? All right, so I think subnets are very good with banks, to healthcare systems, or even to the government. So OneWizard, tell us the benefits and the features of subnet.
Sure. There are many reasons why you should use the XDC subnet. The obvious one, as mentioned before, is privacy and security. Not only that, the subnet is also highly flexible and customizable to the enterprise business needs. So you're able to choose how many nodes you want to operate, how to distribute your subnet tokens, and also who has access to your subnet. And also the developer experience is awesome. As a developer myself, I understand the pain of learning and using a cumbersome setup. So we have provided an extensive set of tools to make your experience of setting up, maintaining, and using the subnet as seamless as possible. And finally, the subnet components and tools, they are all open source, where you are free to change up and deploy your own modification of the subnet. We have known many companies that try to set up another private chain solution, which costed them millions of dollars. It involves a lot of complicated setup and maintenance costs. And also, after all of their work, they were not even successful in the private chain implementation. However, the subnet is open source, so it's practically free. So this cost reduction is very huge, and it's a benefit. Also, if your project requires a lot of transactions, moving those transactions onto the subnet would reduce your gas costs. Another tool that I would like to highlight is the XDC 0, which can enable the cross-chain communication, for example, token transfers between the subnet and mainnet.
All right. Thank you for outlining those features and benefits. And I love the part wherein you made an example that there are companies who made this, who tried to deploy their own chain, but they were not successful. So why go all the length of this process? And even with this cost, only to find out at the end that you're not successful. So I think subnets are the best solution for them. So yes, with this subnet, can you tell us the use cases that you've done so far?
Yes, absolutely. We have many partners who are seriously considering using XDC subnet in production. So let me share a couple of examples. So one of them is Deutsche Telekom from Germany. They are using the subnet in their telecommunication use case. We have this carbon tracking project where they use the subnet to record a private and individual carbon credit data, and then they will combine the numbers to only show the aggregate data on the XDC mainnet. Then we also have this Zanzibar National Blockchain Network. Zanzibar is a region of Tanzania, and they have a blockchain policy where all national ID cards and other certificates must be on the blockchain. They are choosing to build the entire blockchain infrastructure on the XDC subnet. And in the final vision of this project, it will not only be a single subnet, but a network of multiple subnets working interoperably. And also, we have talked about how XDC subnet is suitable for a payment solution. So that's also.
Right. Thank you for sharing all those use cases. It's very great to hear that Deutsche Telekom is also exploring the subnet. It's a huge telecommunication base in Germany, and also with the Zanzibar sandbox. So again, these are entities that are well known, right? So yeah, you've been telling us about the benefits and the features and subnets, but how easy it is to deploy subnets in XDC?
If I dare say, you can have a subnet up and running within 10 minutes in your local machine or server. The reason for that is because we have created this deployment automation tool we call the subnet configuration generator, where you have this UI page and it looks very familiar to like any website's registration form. There's only a few options to input, and after you're done, all the configuration files and the instructions steps are generated. Then you can follow the instructions that is generated. It's only 2 to 3 commands. After that is done, your subnet will be running and deployed. So I will also say that the subnet deployment is Docker based. So I believe engineers and developers, they are all familiar with Docker. And on the other tools that we provide is the subnet UI. It clearly shows and allows you to monitor the subnet block progress and checkpointing progress. It also works as like a mini explorer where you can see blocks and TX details. And another tool we also provide is a faucet server to help with your subnet token distribution. Lastly, I would say the most interesting tool is XDC 0. So XDC 0 is a cross-chain smart contract framework. It allows you to make cross-chain data transfers where you can utilize the framework by building a smart contract application on top of the framework. One application we have also provided by default is called SubSwap, which is the application for cross-chain data transfer. So it is possible for you to have this like shared token pool between mainnet and subnet, for example, with SubSwap. And XDC 0 works by utilizing the checkpointing proof data of the subnet that is stored on the mainnet to make sure that there is no malicious action. But you don't have to deploy XDC 0 if you don't like it. So it is optional to deploy. But if you decide to deploy XDC 0, you can also choose whether you only want the subnet to mainnet transfers or both way transfers also on the mainnet back to the subnet.
Thank you for touching the point of XDC 0 and also the subswap. When you told me earlier that the deployment is less than 10 minutes, I almost do not believe you. But thank you for the video demonstration that you've played. And the process is really simple and it's streamlined, right? So even I think even if you're not a technical person, a non-tech person can easily deploy this subnet. So yeah, one was said thank you for that. And in case someone will be facing some issues when it comes to deploying their own subnet, where can I find technical support?
Right. So I would like to share one link with you. This link is the subnet release article, which will contain a reference to all other links and resources that you need. So we have links to tutorial, documentations, YouTube tutorial, Telegram support group, and also the relevant GitHub repositories. Yeah, so if you're facing some trouble or you would like to have some suggestions, we are welcome to talk on the subnet Telegram support group or also the XDC public forum. Yeah, I hope everyone have a good time using the subnet, and looking forward to hear your feedback.
All right, Juan Vicente, thank you so much for joining the podcast and explaining the XDC 2.0 update and also the subnets. I hope the community learned a thing or two about subnets and XDC 2.0. I think you can easily explain subnet to a kid or even to your grandparents. So yes, all related links that Juan Vicente has mentioned, the Telegram group, the GitHub repos, it will be placed under the description of the video. So please check out that link. And yes, for the community, thank you so much again for joining us today. And if you want to know more about XDC Network, please visit www.zinfin.org. Or if you are a developer or blockchain enthusiast or anyone who simply wants to know more about blockchain, just participate to our forum, register, called www.xdc.dev. So keep learning, keep exploring until the next episode. Thank you.